So yeah, those Halloween haunt guys are really something, aren't they? Um, I like the video, and they're kind of scary. Um, but I hope to see them again, maybe live next time. But I am going to check out their socials and look them up on Facebook for sure. And I'm going to like them because I like them. See you next time.
Oh, God. All right, George.
Oh, we're back. Welcome
I'm back.
back.
You're back.
Welcome back.
It says live, so we might actually be live right now.
I think we are, yeah.
That's weird, eh? You get that happening sometimes.
Well, with technology.
Facebook just cuts you off for some stupid reason.
Yeah, I think it's getting more and more like that, isn't it? It seems to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had like a bunch of those messages saying you don't own the rights to this music, whatever.
Yeah.
And I wasn't actually playing them. It was just I did a few videos at different gigs. This is going back. These were from a while ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say two years ago at least.
Right.
And they were saying, we're going to mute a part of this. I thought, why are they doing it now? It's like that video. That's from 2018, and it just didn't make sense. 2019. I thought,
I still remember when Terry was with us. We played one of his songs.
Right.
And they did the same thing. They cut us off and said it's a copyright infringement. And they sent them back a letter to Facebook say, no, it wasn't. It's our music. We are the band. We own it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah. The world we live in.
Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy out there, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just to finish off that story about the guy. So the next day, I got talking to about it with a work colleague, and I said, like, since I've seen it, I feel like really, I don't know what the word is, it's like depressed, I feel negative, I feel whatever.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and I just felt like that all day. I remember like gigging that night, felt the same. And Saturday morning, I got woken up early that my dad was in a car accident, right? And I never put the two and two together. I never thinking, just like, but a few months after that, I was watching like a paranormal documentary on, on the BBC or something, about different people's different experiences. And there was this lady, and she's from Glasgow. She's up in Scotland, and I'm listening to her. And she said she's walking down the street, and there was a shop, and the shop doorway was kind of recessed to go into the shop. I said, I was just walking past and I looked up and I saw this figure, and she described what I'd seen in my living room exactly.
Oh, exact same guy?
Exactly, yeah. And I'm listening to her, and she said, and the moment I sort of laid eyes on him, I got this awful feeling of melancholy. And I thought that, and then I harked back, I thought that's what I was feeling. Very, very melancholy, right?
Wow.
And then I get the news the next day, like I say, the next day I got it was like this oppressive feeling that you just can't, the sun's shining, it's great. What's wrong? You know what I mean? It's like this oppression, this thing comes down. I thought,
wow,
that's the same guy who's in Scotland, and so he gets about. But that was the other one that really sticks out for me. And I've imagined, I've seen him before, but it is just a trick. You just know it's that, it's not, you don't get that feeling of like a physical presence, a body being there. Just not the same. It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
I've got a buddy too. He's super sensitive, and that's what we say. But he feels and hears things and sees things all the time.
Yeah,
and he said it's gotten so hard for him. He can't even go into a hospital because it's just overwhelming for him.
Yeah.
There's just too much of it going on.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, so it's.
Well, another one just sprung to mind here, not to bore everybody, but I'm going back to, I actually didn't think of this, but me and Liz went to Ireland in 1984. First time we went to Ireland.
Right.
Because that's where she's from, to visit. And we were doing bed and breakfasts.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in this house and in this front room, and we only went for like 3 or 4 days. It's like a long weekend.
Right.
And I remember, like, I woke up in the middle of the night. It was like 4:00 in the morning. I heard this scream. Right? And I remember
Really?
I remember leaping up in bed and thinking, what was that? And Liz said, what's up with you? And I'm like, I heard a scream. Did you hear the scream? She's like, I didn't hear a scream. And I thought, well, the boys were young then, and the sister was babysitting. And the immediate thought was, oh, but everything's all right at home, right? And this was a Friday night. This is Friday night going into Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. And I remember I didn't go back into work because I was at the day job then till about the Tuesday.
Right.
And I went back on came in on the Tuesday morning, and a colleague of mine that I'd worked with for 12 years at that point, he wasn't there. And somebody came in, like, because I got there and, I thought, Steve's usually in before me.
Right.
And, someone comes out of one of the other offices and says, do you know about Steve? And I went, what about Steve? He said he was burnt in a fire. He got really badly burnt on Friday night. And
really?
Yeah, and he was like taken to hospital and all. Yeah, he got really badly burned, his hands and everything. He'd run back into the house and collapsed. He'd run out once,
mm-hmm.
and then ran back in worrying about his girlfriend who'd gone out the back, apparently. He'd fallen asleep on the couch smoking, set the house.
Oh, Jesus.
And he had a dog, like a German Shepherd and everything. He ran back in.
Yeah.
I guess he just collapsed, and that's where he got badly burnt. Yeah. He died like 3 months later.
So, George, you've got a lot of interesting experiences.
When I start putting them together, I'm like, holy crap. I'm going to sleep with the light on tonight.
Yeah, that's what Keisha said, too. She's going to have nightmares.
Yeah.
So, guys, just an update.
I have an album cover on a lighter note.
So we're back on live again?
Yeah, so what happened was, I need to follow this up, but some content blocker came up on Facebook and just blocked our Facebook feed, but our friends on Twitch and I guess Indie Rock Radio, we're back on Indie Rock because I had stopped the feed because we had no audio going out, and that's never a good thing. Can't hear tunes. So we're back up on Indie Rock, so Indie Rock Radio. Thanks for tuning in. We actually had, I believe, something like about 160 listeners dialed in on there. We had about 40 that were trying to comment. So now all the comments are coming in. So anyway, to just recap and catch up here, Keisha's saying she's going to have nightmares tonight.
Saying,
and hopes we're all safe. And then Kathy's on. Hello, gents, again. So she was tuning in earlier and saw us, I guess, sort of. Well, I guess what happened first, the comments got blocked, and then our audio got blocked, apparently. And so here we're back. So just
strange.
A little workaround. And then Matt is saying, hey, Derek, glad to see you joining in. So yeah, Derek's been up the past, this will be your third week.
This will be 3 weeks in a row he's been with us.
Right. Okay.
So, all right. So I'll maybe tell my story. So the one
this is a good one.
Yeah, the one I want to talk about actually is, let me just grab something real quick here.
Okay.
All of my playing around.
See, I could grab stuff real quick too. My wife's got me one of these.
Grabber. Biggest program ever.
Oh my God, they're awesome.
Sure.
Pass the bong.
Yep.
Yeah. So what I want to talk about, and in behind me is it's my cottage I'm renovating, but decided it was such nice weather I'd sit outside. Anyway, for the theme of the paranormal, I thought it'd be a nice creepy background. Well, one of the stories that has always been intriguing for me was when I stayed at the Hotel Fort Garry in Winnipeg.
Right.
Winnipeg being the part of Manitoba, the Manitoba province, next to Ontario. So that's for our U.S. Watchers, listeners. So I flew into Winnipeg on a very stormy, snowy night, and got to the hotel just before midnight. Went in, there wasn't a lot of activity, so the went to the desk, and there was a young guy there. And Hotel Fort Garry, by the way, it's very historic. It's in the downtown of Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Okay.
It opened on December 11th, 1913, and it's one of the Grand Railway hotels. So if you were to hop on the Grand Railway and travel across Canada, that would have been one of the stops. And it's also a designated historical site. So
Cool.
they have a room there, which I didn't know at the time, and I believe it's room 202. So when I checked in, the young guy checking me in said, "Hey, we're not full tonight. Did you want to stay at the newer renovated part of the hotel, or would you like to stay in the more classic older part?" I said, "I don't know. I just wherever it's quiet." And so he said, "Okay, I'll put you in." So he puts me in room 202, and I had no idea that about the stories about Hotel Fort Garry and the possible ghosts that live there or died there.
So hang out there.
That hang out there, but so I was really tired, and so I went up to the room, and it was definitely very a lot of antiques and very comfortable. When I walked in, I felt nice and just kind of peaceful. So I just kind of got ready for bed. Usually hang out my suit in the closet, so I did that, and so I hit the pillow, and then I don't know what time it was. I wasn't really paying attention, but I guess if I got in around midnight, it would have been in the middle of the night.
Right.
I felt something pushing on my side, like my side of my leg. So much like Heiko's story, it felt more like I was sleeping next to someone. So I woke up, and then I
Gator bus fare.
no, I just kind of reached next to me to just I thought it was actually a pillow or something that kind of maybe fell down or bunched up blankets.
Yeah.
So
Covers are bunched up or something, right?
yeah, nothing too crazy. I wasn't creeped out by it at all. So but what was interesting was the closet light was on and the door was closed. So I walked over and I thought, well, I thought I closed the light off and everything. So I opened the door and the light's on, and there's an old it's almost like the old knob and tube kind of electrical with when you have a light, there's a cord, an electrical cord, bulb. So that's hanging in the closet. And I opened the door, and like if you know anything about pressures, if you open the door, it's going to actually create a bit of suction. So that bulb hanging on that long cord would have been swinging like this, right? Because I opened the door. But it's actually going like this, right across but very, not just like slightly, it's swinging. So I'm not freaked out by it, but I'm thinking, oh, well, I was kind of half asleep. So I grabbed the light and just kind of, sort of stop it. And then, so I close the light off and I go back to bed. And that was pretty much the evening. I did get up again to shut the light off one more time and thinking, of course, I must have left it on. So not thinking anything of it. I next day I felt actually I had a great sleep, felt really refreshed, left, and then about 3 months later, my daughter, who's now 25, at the time she was probably about 8. She
Yeah.
comes to me with this book, Canadian Ghost Stories, and she says, "Dad, didn't you stay at that hotel Fort Garry?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, there are ghosts there." And so she was kind of into that at the time. So I'm reading it, and sure enough, they're talking about room 202, how people will feel a presence next to them,
Wow.
and the
Wow.
closet light will come on. Sometimes they see blood actually, or dark shadows along the ceiling area borders, right? So
Yeah.
at that point, I got kind of chills, thinking that wow, that that was my experience. Um,
Yep.
I
Had
didn't.
anything happen there? Like somebody murdered or anything?
Yeah. So the backstory is that this woman was having an affair at the hotel, and her husband found out about it, and he came up with his dad, and they shot. They caught them, doing the
Caught
deed.
them doing it. Yep.
Yep. And they shot the guy, and she was so distraught after that she hung herself in the closet.
Ooh.
So that's
In
the
that room.
story
Oh.
in that room. So you can go
Wow.
all over the internet and search Hotel Fort Garry Room 202,
Yep.
and you'll find that.
Oh,
And there
Canadian
is.
ghost stories. Nice.
Yep.
So
There's the
George,
book.
flip to the Hotel Fort Garry,
I was
because it's
looking for it.
definitely in there.
I'll find it.
Oh yeah, you'll definitely find it. It's either there or under haunted hotels or something like that.
Oh, okay.
We've got the book here somewhere, but very
Haunted houses.
Well, Hike, do you know about Ghost Road?
Yep.
We were
I was
talking
out
about
there.
Ghost Road. Yeah,
I was out there years ago.
yeah. When I was younger, we used to hang out there and
Yep.
party.
With all the other people drinking beer, sitting on their
Yeah, yeah.
cars. Yep. Yep. I wonder if that's still out there.
It is. I was out there. I guess I haven't been out for a couple of years now, but I would have
Yeah.
been 2 years ago. I think I was out there.
I have to go. I'm going to have to go and check it out. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
No,
definitely-
I'll. As I said, I'll go out with you. I'll even.
Okay.
I'll be the guy to flick the lights and
All right.
Yep.
tell you what the ghost is.
All right.
Have you ever seen it, Hike?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
It was very cool.
Yeah.
And everyone said, "Oh, it's a guy on a motorcycle, or it's this, or it's that." Like everyone has their ideas, right? But
Yeah. The story that I heard is there was a farmhand. He was helping somebody else, another farm, I guess, and he was riding his bike along the road in a rainstorm. He lost control, went into the ditch, and was decapitated.
Yeah.
And then some people say, oh, they never found his head and whatever.
Yeah.
But apparently the story is the light is him on the bike, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So the ghost hunting team I was on a few years back, we actually did a few sessions over at Ghost Road, probably about 4. And we tried to, there are a lot of stories, and we tried to kind of be as objective as possible. And I was more the technical guy. But we went up there. I think we had 3 psychics with us, and a bunch of us doing the more technical stuff, picture taking and all of that. So yeah, when I my hard drive, I've actually got really startling pictures of the motorcycle, and a variety of different things, and some are very vivid and very creepy.
wow.
So yeah, so I was gonna, this is going back, I think either Facebook was very young in its kind of in its infancy, or not even available when I did all this stuff. But what I find is that if you're like George, it sees these or senses things, and Heiko, you do as well, and Derek. I mean, so if you're open to the idea and you go out with a camera, you're more apt to get a photograph of something rather than somebody who's very closed off.
Yeah.
So I'm very open minded with a lot of things. I mean, in the bedroom certainly, but the when it comes to ghosts, no, very open minded there as well. And it's one of those things. If you go out and you're you put the time in, you're going to get something, and it's not
Right.
always the missed on or like orbs are questionable because orbs could be a dust particle, right? So I mean, people have written them off, but when you zoom up an orb in a high res picture and you
Mhm.
see images that are very clear, it's definitely not. There's something to that.
Too, how the orbs move, right? If they're like coming from the floor, like dust doesn't go up. Well, it does, but it doesn't. You know what I mean?
So that's a great point. So we studied that. We actually tried to debunk that, and it's very, very hard. I would say it's very sort of like one of those undecided things. Like it's very hard to prove or disprove because air. Okay, and I kind of worked in that business of airflow for years, but it can be very, very subtle, right? So you can have a stream of air coming past you that is actually almost like a river sort of turning on itself, right? Like it's a different path, and it's very slight stream. So these orbs, the more interesting ones are the ones, not the ones that just float by, but the ones that have an erratic pattern, where others are moving straight, right? So if you have multiple orbs as a comparison, then that becomes pretty interesting. The other thing is when you see orbs, sometimes you get, if you're recording audio, you get some audio around that time, or something may happen. So I'll say this: my father, when he passed away, he was very young and it was sudden, and he was out actually rescuing some kids. Two had died on impact. There was a snowmobile accident, and the other two actually survived. But so he went to the scene and did what he could. But he actually he had a heart attack at the scene while he was holding one of the kids that passed away, and he was kind of frozen. So anyway, he went out a bit of a hero. But the summer after that, because that happened in January in 2001, and so my daughter actually, you know, not just kind of a bit of a remembrance, and we were at camp, and so she wrote a letter to him, and I said, just put it over write the letter and then put it in the campfire and burn it, like, so it goes to so he he can read it. So it was kind of a special moment, but I took a picture of her doing that, and man, there was this orb over the campfire, a big orb just sitting between, and she had her hands like, kind of like this, and the orb was like it was floating in her hand. So I zoomed that up, and I got some amazing images. I won't get into that, but yeah, it's definitely a way you can communicate with people that have passed. I've seen a lot. I haven't seen it all, but in terms of, I will say, don't play with Ouija boards at all. And if you're going to go ghost hunting, like you see on the shows and stuff like that, be very respectful. There's also, it's interesting because I'll sometimes ask the question to a very religious person, hey, do you believe in ghosts? And I'll get a reaction like, no, I don't believe in any of that stuff. Oh, really?
It's the Holy Spirit.
Well, help me understand. Yeah, exactly. When you go to church, it doesn't really matter what denomination you are. When you go to church, there's a ceremony which is really like almost like opening like an incantation, opening a session, but it's very important that you close that session. or you may take things with you, right?
Yeah.
So there are some rules of the road that are, you know, I mean, a lot of them you've seen on these ghost hunting movies and that, but I was fortunate enough to try some of this stuff out and get guided by very experienced, you know, people that have, you know, either psychic ability, or more than that. Like, I mean, if you know, someone like Deanna, the Neon Dreamer, right? She's amazing. I mean, she'll do readings, but she'll do it using various tools. She can use runes. She can use a ball, like a crystal ball. There's a variety of things, and I'm definitely you know, a believer when it comes to the way she communicates.
Right.
She mentioned to me, because I actually did the one and only reading I've ever done was with her. She said that I seem to have a lot of spirits around me at all times trying to communicate, and I know exactly what she means, because when I got, this was prior to the ghost hunting, but I actually was experiencing a lot of that sort of stuff. I was really open to it, and then when I got into the thing with the ghost hunters, and although I wasn't doing the psychic stuff, I was, you know, I was sensing a lot of things. So I found out that I probably could channel if I wanted to.
Be a medium.
And yeah, absolutely. You know, I was a 3X at one point, but now I'm an extra large. But a medium does fit that.
Wow.
Dad jokes just rolling.
I know.
Every other bird, yes.
So,
Well,
so
my step grandmother was a medium, and see, that's like when I see different people, I watch them. Like, she never picked out, like, she couldn't go, you want to talk to Uncle Bobby, here's Uncle Bobby. When people came through her, it was whoever came through, and it usually was somebody connected within, you know, the room, or somebody trying to get a message through that, hey Ringo, we want you to get this message to John. Right. But she would also have I call them characters, but people who would keep spirits who would keep coming back. Like there was one guy, David, who apparently died. He was English, and I guess somewhere at the docks barrels fell on him, and he was chasing a wooden nickel, but her voice would change with each different person. Like, apparently my spirit guide is this, like, a big Indian man, and when he would come through, she would just puff up and her voice would change. She had a very thick English accent. And yeah, it would change all over. It would be Irish, it would be whoever came through.
Wow.
Right.
Crazy.
Oi, mate.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, right? Yeah.
Man, is that you?
Just going back a little. We'll do the trivia in a sec. We'll just again, I'm putting all these bits together. When I mentioned that my friend who died, I mean, like, he was 28 when he died, and I'd known him since he was like 16 when he first came to work. So we weren't just work colleagues. We actually used to hang out after work and all that. He knew the kids, used to come and watch, you know, Adam taking his swimming test and all that. So, you know, we were close friends as well as colleagues. He was the one who told me to get out of there and be a DJ, right? He said, I'm stuck in here, but you've got other options. And I remember that very clearly. And when he died, the first thing I did was hand in my notice. But literally the next day after his funeral. But going back a bit before that, but to like 1978, so late 70s, and in England, or where I lived in that part, they used to show these black and white movies, Tarzan movies, late at night and all this. And I'd been watching one, and we were talking about it the next day. And I don't know how we got on the subject, but it was like Johnny Weissmuller, his wife, they made a pact that whoever went first, if there was anything out there, would come back and make contact, right? So we were laughing, right? And I said, Burko, his name was Stephen Birkin. I said, Burko, I said, tell you what, mate, if I go first, if there's anything out there, I'll come back and let you know. And so they said, okay, it's a deal, right?
Right.
If there's anything out there, well, he died in it was 1984, right? And he, again, like I'm saying, they don't come back and say, and he's been back for sure, but you don't really realize at the time. And then later you go,
Oh, hey.
I had a thought here,
Yep.
it's that, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to not sleep tonight now.
Well, it's like, have you ever willed anything to happen?
Yeah.
Right? You're like, oh man, I wish I saw a car accident. Boom. Wow,
Yeah.
did that happen because I just thought of that?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I went to I was at a psychic. They were kind of guests that came out with our hunting team. But anyway, they had this room at their place, and it was the reading room, and they had a round table and a crystal ball in the middle of it. And I never tried a crystal ball, and I was curious about it. So first of all, they brought out tarot cards, and they read me, I think, and it was a little off, but nonetheless it was fine. So then I said, well, let me read you. And they said, well, you're not really, but that's okay. Sure, why not? So I said, what do I do? Right. So I put down, drew 5 cards. And so I went right to the chase on it. And I said to the male half of the, I brought this scenario up, and he started crying.
Really?
I said, hey, let's change the subject here. Can I try your crystal ball out? So what the concept of the crystal ball is, you'll see people like rubbing the ball. And so what happens is, before you actually engage with the crystal ball, there's a cloth that it uses, a little bit of a, little ceremony. I'm not sure that it matters, except the ball needs to be clean. And then you channel, it's a tool to channel. And so you're basically, when you're rubbing the ball, you're smudging it, right? So to me, it's really no different than looking up and watching the clouds in the sky form animals and form whatever, right? But so I'm looking at the ball, and there was something that was really intriguing me, and I could see it off in the distance. Inside, it was almost like in the center of the ball. So what it was it was a set of numbers, and on the way back, because they were up in Curtis area north, I was leaving there, and it's pretty late, and I actually, on one of the in the concession roads, there's actually these green markers with addresses on them, right, for farm property.
Yeah,
so
we have those.
Right. So I'm driving by. I actually wrote down the numbers because they meant something. I don't know. There weren't enough for a lottery ticket, but so I noticed the last 3 letters caught my eye when I drove by this sign, numbers. So I stopped and I backed up and I looked at the numbers, and they were exactly the same numbers in the same sequence that I had read in the ball. So I thought about that, and to be objective, I was thinking, well, wait a minute, maybe I saw those numbers on the way in, and somehow, like, I've got a lousy memory. What's your name again? You up in the top panel? So like, I've got a short memory, but interestingly enough, I came up through the south, so I wouldn't have seen that because they're at the bottom of the hill. Anyway, so I'm like, wow, this is weird. So I figured I'm going to call them, and let them know, but it was too late that night. So 2 days go by, and I forget to call them about the interesting news. Somebody was killed right at that sign. There was a car accident, and somebody was killed 2 days later.
Wow.
So that was my crystal ball experience. It was very freaky. So you were talking about, like, people around you and stuff like that, and Derek calling, like, if you're doing, whether it's a seance or whatever, communicate. Usually if there'll be a lot of people, and some that don't even know you, right? But
Yeah.
the ones that have an attachment will usually step forward, and that's how a lot of the psychics, like Deanna, that's kind of part of her method. So
Yeah.
anyway, trivia
All right.
time.
All right. Well, again, you just sparked off a memory there. Numbers, like, because the numbers is another thing altogether, right?
Yeah.
And like, this occurred to me a while ago, but the very first house we ever bought was 14. It was 14 Parkhill Avenue, the house number, right? And then when we came to Canada, the house we lived in Ajax was 269. We sold that house, and we moved up to Peterborough, and the house we had on Clancy Crescent was 538, which is exactly 269 twice, right?
Mhm.
So we moved down to Bowmanville, and the house we live in now is 41, which is the reverse of our first house, 14.
14. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And Liz is like, you're crazy. I said, yeah, but look, I don't know why it occurred to me.
Yep.
And the house I grew up in as a kid was 349 Great Cheetham Street, 349. And I was coming up the sidewalk on a jog, like I'd been here like about 6 months, whatever it was, because we came in the summer, and then like when the leaves fell off, like the shrubs and the bushes, is one of those electrical boxes, the big dark green electrical boxes. And
Right.
it's like a shrub in front of it, so you could see through the shrub. And in yellow letters, and it's out there, was 349, which was the number of our house when I was growing up. So it's like, wow. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
it's like, but anyway, enough of that. Here's the back of the album.
Is that a helicopter?
Looks like a bug splattered on a window.
It's actually a helicopter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Helicopter.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Do that again. Push that in close again. The only thing I can think with a helicopter, you said it's... Oh, I did see the date on it. I think it said 78,
76.
76.
Oh,
Yeah.
76. Okay.
No, okay.
Is it a Canadian band?
We're a bit... Sorry?
Canadian band?
They're not a Canadian band, no.
No. I think I know who it is.
Oh, yeah?
Can you spell their name the same way, forward and backwards?
Oh.
Yeah, ABBA.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Good.
funny. Which
There you
album
go.
is it? Because the helicopter's on the front.
Arrival.
That's right.
Arrival.
Yeah.
They're in a helicopter. On the
Yeah.
cover. There you go. Derek's on fire as usual. No messing
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that.
Sorry. Yeah.
But see, it's funny. I thought of that right away, ABBA, but I thought, nah, George is going to pull out an ABBA album. He's got other stuff, right?
Oh, that's what is
Hey,
it
he
called?
goes from ABBA to Def Leppard to
Yeah, I know, eh?
Floyd, Zeppelin. Yeah, all over.
Well, tonight I've got an album there called Ghost in the Machine by the Police. I thought it would be fitting, but the pictures are on the back of it, so I couldn't do that one.
Yeah.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
Stuart doesn't
Right
look
on.
like he used to.
Oh,
That what is that? There's a name for that where something spells the same backwards and forwards. There's an actual proper name for it.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember. It's like
Anybody knows,
kayak.
let us know. Yeah.
level.
Young,
Boob.
Yeah, ABBA were a guilty pleasure back in the day when they were actually current.
Mhm.
Because I do gigs, I do like club gigs. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
driving home, I'd get the ABBA cassette out, put it in, and listen to ABBA all the way home.
Yeah, why not?
And the disco beats, I thought they were great. I mean, now they're very credible, right? But back in the day,
Well, good call on that one.
A palindrome.
What's that? Palindrome. Yes,
Palindrome, yeah.
palindrome. That's right. That's it.
I didn't just Google that.
Of course
No, you knew
Hey,
that.
Siri.
It was your Indian spirit guide.
Yeah. He smacked me in the back of the head again.
Palindrome, for God's sakes. Everyone knows that.
Spirit guides. There's. I want to do a road trip after COVID to the U.S. and go to just outside of Pennsylvania. There's a place called Lilydale, and Lilydale has a whole community of spiritualists, and there's altars there and all kinds of stuff. So I've been there. I was in there in the fall, and it was kind of creepy because all of the the leaves were down, so you could see a lot of the altars, which I'm told that way back they would do like animal sacrifices and all of that stuff.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's it's a really neat place. Very very old. These are old houses, but it's like a little town in the forest.
Okay.
So there's a couple of streets, but just jam packed with houses, right? And everybody's a like a psychic or some kind of reader.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I was there on a day that again late in the fall, and there wasn't a lot of activity going on. So
Right.
In the States, have you ever been to Gettysburg?
yes, I have.
No.
In fact,
What a weird feeling you get there. I don't know about you, but I was there when I was 16, and I just felt weird the whole time I was there.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm Gettysburg. Okay, so something a little closer, Derek, is again out in the Pennsylvania area. I would say around there's a place called Brockton, which is maybe an hour, yeah, about an hour from Pennsylvania. So when you cross the border in Buffalo, it's about an hour and a half ish, or an hour to get there, and then so
Yeah.
you're in Brockton. So it's kind of midway point. But anyway, when you're there, you're kind of there's a lot of vineyards, and it's really nice because it's done. It's on the east side of the lake, right? But there's also like if you spend some time in the hall, in the in the village, I guess, or township. There's a place called Battle Creek, and they're still finding musket kind of materials from guns and all kinds
Oh,
of
really?
yeah, and people were a massive amount of people were killed around Battle Creek, and so I think that was going back to like around the 1813 14 or whatever when I guess the those
When they tried invading us.
they tried to invade, and
Yeah.
it pretty much that would have been what 1814. Took
Yep.
a little trip, but
Way down yonder.
Wow.
But so going there, I got like this really what do they call it? Like a solemn kind of melancholy vibe, right? And um, just a lot of like dread. Some of the hauntings that we went to or places that had activity, we never really call them hauntings. So because we, sometimes it's just not. But I'd have an interesting job because my job was to go in the night before and set up all the DVR, like the night vision cameras and all that stuff, and all of the audio, everything, right? So, so this one particular place, I was going up to this attic area which had stairs. It was more of a servant entrance kind of thing, but I was going up there running some cables because nothing was like Wi-Fi back then. But so I'm doing that. But when I get to the top of the stairs, I felt like I was going to vomit. And I thought, well, I'm really out of shape, which could have been the case. But it wasn't. I just went from feeling absolutely fine to this feeling of, I'm just going to be sick. So the homeowner said to me, "Do you feel that?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, just step over here for a minute." So I stepped over to another area, just a few feet away, and I actually started to feel fine again. And he goes, "Okay, go step in that area again." And I felt that coming on, but I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna move because I had work to do, and it just felt like a flu symptom or something, right? So it was a little unnerving. That one was interesting because the backstory on that was It was a place in Oshawa, and a house that's actually now over 100 years old. And the the
Do they get frozen from time to time?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like he is right now.
Yeah, yeah.
They are.
oh, I sorry, I lost you.
Yeah, you got frozen
Sorry,
there.
guys.
Yeah.
One was an authority figure. So it could have been like the local police, chief or
Oh,
I don't know, whatever it was. But
RCMP.
I don't know exactly. But back then it was. You got to remember, like Whitby and Oshawa, they were all ports, right? And then back in the
Yeah.
GM was just settling out here, and anyway, so this person had some kind of authority, almost like a security figure for some reason. But the woman ended up looks like she hung herself, right? And through everything we were getting there, and it's weird because you got to be careful what you say, and nothing's really conclusive. So I go out and I find where she hooked herself in the what's now a bedroom, right? And
okay.
but when I was upstairs and in the attic space, and there were these old tattered like sheets, bed sheets, but old, really old. And
Right.
where the roof comes down, slopes down, they were kind of on a rope across, running the length of the roof. And
Yeah.
those were, I guess, little like play areas or bed areas because there were crayon drawings on the roof, like on the inner part of the roof. And it
Right.
wasn't insulated up there, so it would have been chilly. But so what we kind of sussed out of it is it may have been a bit of a foster home. There's a lot of evidence of that. And these sheets were like old and tattered, still hanging
Yep.
though, right? The
Yep.
creepy thing was in the center of the roof peak, there was a meat hook. So don't know. Beyond
Yeah.
that, like we thought maybe there was something else going on there that but very, very, very sad sort of vibe. So when we were
Right.
done with that, we ended up having a bit of a cleansing, I guess, and it turned out that they didn't have any more activity. But the activity was focused on one individual in the house who ended up moving out, just a family sort of border, and moved out, and then it either moved out with her or whatever we did work. So
Oh, that's cool.
Now,
Very
what do
cool.
you do?
Yeah.
Just like sage a place? Give it a blessing or something? Or
yeah, it was kind of more the blessing thing, and I kind of honestly let the kind of psychics handle that. But we take it seriously. At the first couple of times we went out, of course, people are new, and it was a little more silly. However, I wasn't there that night, but they went to investigate an old school that is somewhere up north. I don't know. It might have been Uxbridge or somewhere, but
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the location. But when they were there, something happened, and there were three of the people that were really affected. So, and they were sick. They were sick for a week after, and they were just, they couldn't sleep. There were a lot of issues, right? So I was thinking, well, maybe they got a cold. But then I started to think about it. It was old, rundown building, and a lot of those old schools had asbestos in them, right? So
Right. Yes, they did.
yeah, they some kind of chemicals and stuff. So. But
That was
how are you
insulation
feeling,
at the
right?
time. Right?
Yeah, how are you feeling?
I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable.
Are
How we
ya?
doing
Yeah.
time wise though? We still gonna go for a bit or
I think we're we're just over 11, so
okay.
yeah, whatever. If you guys want to keep going a little bit, we've still got a few.
well, George still has more trivia, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
more or less. More or less, I
we've
have.
quite a few
Hey,
viewers
George,
still on.
up there. Hey.
All right, how's it going?
Heiko,
Good, good. Here's
Heiko,
a
did you want to call
story
it?
of a man named Heiko.
Yeah.
Did you want to do you want to call it a night, Heiko, or take a little break? I know you're still banged up from your accident.
Nah, I'll go on for a couple more minutes and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Pillow kicking in yet?
You're a trooper.
Oh, I'm trying. Ooh.
It's Ringo's pick for the A side of the B side.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'm going to take the A side.
Go for the A side. Okay.
I'm going for the A side.
Ooh. Should have gone for the B side. Actually, these are from a couple of weeks ago because we didn't do it last week.
Oh, I missed some comments. Matt did a ghost walk in Gettysburg.
He said it was awesome.
I want
Oh.
to see the
So
one.
Richard is saying that he wants to go see the house in Amityville. Yeah. So Richard, I've actually seen it.
It looks just nothing like the picture.
All right.
You cut off there, Ringo.
But he froze again.
Oh, sorry. It's a little confusing if you try and base it on the movie. So yeah, it'd be fun to go see that.
Do Salem.
Yeah, well, Salem, yeah. Actually, when our band MCM wrote Wiccan, that was really about the Salem witch burnings, right? So
Yeah.
We have a song called Salem Girl, and guess what it's about?
oh yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So
we
Sarah-
should do that one day. It'd be fun. Just go out there and check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of scary though, you know.
We need to, honestly, yeah, we need to do definitely some road trips. I mean, Danny, I was talking to Danny up at Country Stop Burgers, and he's like very excited to get past this COVID thing and get some things going on. But even
absolutely,
they're a great supporter of the show, and they have they
really
have
good
a lot of
fish
lined up. Oh, great fish Friday for sure.
Yeah.
So Sarah's saying Salem was great spot to do this sort of stuff.
I think she said she had a story as well earlier. I think we missed that.
Kathy loves Salem. I guess she's been there as well.
Yeah.
And not sure who the diva mechanics
Yeah, Matt
are, but
and Sarah, they've got some stories.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet. Did a ghost walk in Salem. Cool.
Right.
Richard. So,
but see, I find a lot
until
of
I can cross the border, I'm out for road trips.
Yeah, as long as a lot of these people get interested in this kind of talk, because a lot of people have experienced things or heard things, or it's just a topic that people just get into, you know?
Oh, yeah,
well, it's the unknown, right? You'll never know.
Yeah.
That's right.
Until you know.
Until you experience it yourself.
Right.
And then you still have questions like what I just had. I experienced it. I know what I experienced, but you have questions. Well, what was it? Who was it? You know, like it's.
Why did it happen? Yeah.
It's wild.
Having a discussion like this about it, and it's a lot of fun, and obviously our viewers and listeners are likely intrigued about it. Some of them are probably thinking, "Wow, this is just a bunch of crackpots talking about it."
Yeah, we are. But hey.
Right. I'd probably agree with them.
But there's some really. I mean, if you open your eyes to the possibility, or just take a walk, sometime, whether it's through a building or. It doesn't have to be like a graveyard or anything crazy like that, but take it out and, what they say about 3 a.m. is very true, in my experience. And one of the reasons I stopped ghost hunting was I get bored very quickly. And, for me to stay up like till 4 or 5 in the morning or just up all night and then start to have to view and like all of our data, it's just it's a long process. It's just not like being out there, pretty fearless that way. But Yeah. So yeah, let's do the trivia. So I picked A.
Okay. Actually, do you remember what started us off on this last week? When you checked the time to see if we should carry on, it was 11:11. That's what started it.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
there you go.
was.
Oh,
And it's
now-
11:09 now.
there you go. All right. So Ringo, in the Billboard 100 Best Guitarists, as voted by many guitarists, right? Prince is at position number 33.
Okay.
All right. Now, does Billy Gibbons have more or less votes to finish higher or lower than Prince, who finished in the 33rd position in the top 100 guitarists?
Yeah. I would say that, yeah, I'm with Derek on that. I would say it's lower. However, I don't know if Kathy's still listening in, but she's a major Prince
Okay.
fan. You probably know that. So I don't know.
If she Googled it right now and
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like seriously, yeah. I'm gonna say lower though. I'm gonna say lower.
You're gonna reckon that he got less votes
Yes.
than Prince? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sure about it? Sure, but
Yeah,
because it's 11 to 12. If you were to get this right, you will be even going into Heiko's next question.
oh, he froze.
He's thinking about it. He's going Google.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
That's probably just a thing he does. He goes, freeze.
Hey, Hike.
Freeze frame.
Yeah.
You can't do anything,
fine.
Hike.
I know. I see that.
I was just
All right.
talking to Indie Rock Radio.
Okay.
I happened to be there, but,
All right.
and Heiko's looking at.
So you reckon Billy Gibbons got less votes than Prince?
Yeah, because Billy Gibbons. Okay, Billy Gibbons is obviously the guitar player, or no, obviously guitar player for ZZ Top, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they were the
Depending.
so they were the Little Texas band or something like that.
Little band from
But-
Texas. Yeah.
The little band from Texas, but they
Trey's
started.
Hombres.
Yeah, but they started to really get notoriety when they started to do videos with MTV. That really
Eliminator.
kicked up. Yeah, Eliminator. But Billy
Yeah.
Gibbons, a great guitar player, but Prince was, quite the showman. I mean, like they both were, but I'm going to say lower for sure.
Okay. So you're saying that Billy Gibbons.
How old is the question though? Because if this is before Prince did that thing with Steve Winwood and Eric Clapton and all that, you never know. Billy might have won.
He could have.
Oh, so Kathy's asked. So re-ask the question.
In the Rolling Stone 100 Best Guitarists of All Time, Prince is at number 33. Now, Billy Gibbons, did he get more or less votes to finish higher or lower than 33?
Yeah.
So Kathy's saying he's no Prince.
He's no Prince.
Yeah, I'll have to go with that. It's less.
Okay.
He got less. Okay. Let's see.
Wow.
Yeah.
Prince was 33. Billy Gibbons was 32.
Oh, nice.
Come on.
I said you should have gone for side B.
He kind of gave that away to you too, eh?
Oh.
Ringo. He was like, are you sure? Like,
Yeah,
Ringo,
but-
are you sure?
I've learned not to completely trust George because
Man, how could you not trust his face? Come on.
Yeah, no kidding, eh?
Would you buy a used car from this man?
What?
Would.
what? It's
Bloody hell,
not-
come on, it's running beautifully. Look at the sheen on it. Look,
Well,
the air conditioning works great.
It's all bullet. All right.
All the books.
Yeah. So there we go.
Okay, so
Kathy,
Heiko.
Coach.
Sorry, Ringo, I let you down.
That's
okay. Actually, I saw an interview with Billy Gibbons talking about Prince from about 2 years ago. Well, they actually met. He said he never really thought about Prince as being a guitarist, and they did something or whatever. And he saw him, and he said, like, couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe how good a guitarist he
the
was.
tribute, and everybody went, "Holy
And
crap!"
Yeah, that was it. And he said, like, he said he approached me and said, "Do you want to do some work together?" And all that kind of stuff. So yeah. All right. So okay, following on from that. Well, maybe this one isn't much easier. I forgot about these questions because I think the last few weeks have been too easy. So we've got, so it still stands at
Richard.
Ringo 11, Billy beat Prince. I want a recount.
Yeah.
So it's right there. Google it. Heiko's on 12, so we could either move on to 13 or stay on 12.
Yes.
All right, 100 best guitarists were still there. Jerry Garcia, Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Number 46.
Wow, is that it?
Number 46, yeah. Now, Muddy Waters, did he finish higher or lower? Would he have got more or less votes than Jerry Garcia?
Muddy Waters?
Jeez, really?
Yeah.
Muddy Waters.
Yeah. Blues?
Legend.
Yep. I'm saying more myself.
Don't listen to me.
Yeah, no, I would think so because he's known for his guitar playing, right?
Well, they all are. They're the 100 best of all time.
Yeah, but
that's the only clue you're getting tonight.
But Jerry Garcia, yeah, they're all guitarists.
Yeah. He's 46. Muddy Waters, is he get more or less?
Is Muddy Waters more or less?
Yeah.
The Jerry Garcia.
Did he get more or less votes?
Well,
here's a Jerry Garcia fact. After he died, the sales of acid dropped.
Oh, there you go.
100 best sales of acid. No, it's guitarists.
Oh, right.
So just double check then just to make sure.
100 best guitarists on acid.
All right. So you're saying Jerry Garcia more?
More. Higher.
You got
higher than Muddy Waters?
Ooh.
No, the other way around.
Going for less. He finished below.
You confused me. I thought you said it different there.
Okay.
Muddy Waters is more than Jerry Garcia.
Higher, yeah.
Yeah, more higher. Yes,
So
more votes.
He finished
he's
higher.
better.
He finished higher than 46.
Yes.
You're sticking with that
Yes.
to get 13 points on the board.
Sure.
Okay. You sure?
There's the buzz.
No.
49.
Oh.
49th.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Hey, Johnny, we're gonna have to find somebody new to do trivia. This guy George you got here, he sucks, man. He gets all these crazy questions. That's okay.
It remains 11, Ringo, Heiko 12.
Yeah,
so
that's okay.
We'll keep going. We'll keep going on that. This was week 20, actually. No, 21, week 21, because we missed last week.
Wow.
It's actually week 20, but yeah. But we might change it down the road where you can either rock with it or roll with it. So you pick that.
We're going to have to figure out how to, you know what we should do is have the finale down at, or up at like Country Stop Burgers.
Stop Burgers, yeah.
That would be fun.
Have a trivia.
And the loser buys.
That's right.
There you go. Oh my God! Look at that right there.
That looks so good.
He shall look.
Wow. Neat.
Could you eat that?
I could.
Who could eat that burger?
Over a week, I could. Yeah, over a week.
Yeah.
I'll eat it.
I used to be able to eat it.
Yeah.
I know. Like, my daughter's boyfriend Dylan. He loves cooking, and he did chicken parm. So I'm thinking, last night this chicken parm would be kind of a flat chicken parm. This, what it looked like was if you got battered fish, like it was massive. So it was pretty tasty. But I gotta, yeah, I got to stay away from that. They made deep fried pickles tonight. I'm like, no, I can't do it.
It's all good stuff, eh?
I like deep
Well,
fried pickles when they're cool.
I dropped 25 pounds and I want to keep going. So it's,
That's
you
excellent.
know, I'll have my oatmeal in the morning and my Metamucil and my, 5K walk.
Yeah. Oh, you want to drop weight faster? Go hang out at the hospital for a while.
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah. I'm trying to lose a few pounds, but it's lockdown lubber, you know.
yeah.
I heard a statistic. What is it? People are drinking 25% more, or 25% more people are drinking, or something like that since lockdown.
Well, tra la la.
There we go.
And we even got the music to go with it, kids.
Cheers, everybody.
I actually went to the liquor store today about 7:30, somewhere around that, about half an hour before they closed. And it was weird because it's the first time in all the years there wasn't a single car in front of the store. It was like 2 rows, more than that, but there's no cars.
Yeah, so it's
It's
empty.
open. And I walked in and there's nobody in. Like completely empty, not another customer in there. I thought that statistic has to be wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I
Totally.
guess Kathy's saying I'll be buying, I guess, the burger if we go up to Country Stop.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't work for a living, so I'm broke. I can't.
And I don't either.
yeah, on a fixed income.
None of us are.
Yeah, none of us are working right now.
We're all lazy bums.
I work.
Yeah.
I work.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
The odd
So
man out.
speaking of which, I just sold another cart. I have the dune buggy's good to go. I've got a couple of little things I want to do it, but I got it all running and
Yeah.
it's badass, Derek. You gotta give that a flag.
I'll try it.
You could be the test pilot.
All right.
But,
You may not like that. I just sold a dirt bike this week, or I guess last weekend. Yeah.
What was it?
It was a KDX 200, 2-stroke, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice little trail bike.
Yep. I used to like the YZ 250.
Yeah, dirt bike. Yeah.
I've had tons of them.
Yeah, I'm a Honda guy. I like CR, but I traded the KDX for a little 65 KDX, but he wanted it for his kid. And then the guy who I traded it from called me back. He's like, "Hey, do you still have that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Do you want to sell it?" I'm like, "Sure." And he ended up, I don't know if I should say this because he's on Facebook, but he ended up paying twice as much as what I paid for the little bike. So I came in okay.
Nice job.
Yeah. Although bikes right now on Facebook, toys are going crazy prices right now.
Yeah.
They're nuts.
It
Yeah,
is.
I mean, it's so alive right now with all kinds of, and people, they can't shop, right? So, I mean, if you get the urge to shop, you could just go on Kijiji or whatever, or Facebook.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, 2,000 bucks for a 30-year-old dirt bike. That needs work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
Well, boys.
That's something else I couldn't do. Being a DJ, I always wanted a dirt bike, but I couldn't risk getting, breaking an ankle or something.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. Could never do it.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second.
I led a very sheltered life.
Well, you can come out and hang out in Uxbridge.
Look, you've been in the house for 58 weeks, so that doesn't help either.
It's more than that. It's more like 61 now, isn't it?
Yeah. See, you got to go outside the dirt bike.
Yeah.
George doesn't want to break any bones.
Oh, Muffin.
Well, then I wouldn't be able to work, would I? I'd have to carry gear and all that. That'd be
Oh,
it.
yeah.
No, I know lots of guys who've given up stuff because of that, because of music or whatever, right?
Self-employed, right? You don't work. No money.
I completely understand it. I mean, I always, if I've got something close to a gig and it's, people are depending on you, especially if it's a big show. So to go and do crazy stuff, I had to dial that down because sometimes I like to do really crazy stuff. But
Me too. I like to do sports that you can die like when you're doing it.
Nice.
Adrenaline, right?
Yeah. No, I love it. Anything that is a rush. I love speed. I love jumping. I love weaving in and out of things. Like the first time I went to BC, me and my friend saw this trail and we're like, hey, where does this go? And it's like out of bounds. We had no idea, but we loved it. You know what I mean? That was our thing.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, just got to take it easy now that I'm getting a little older and a little wiser.
That's right. Slow down a bit.
Yeah, be careful. You break a lot of bones all at once.
You don't want to be doing that at your age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It takes longer to heal, right?
It does. Oh my God, it does it ever.
It does.
Yeah.
So I changed your name, Derek. Derek the Weaver.
There you go.
Weaver.
The Weaver.
I like to weave.
Weaving it out of trees.
I like to weave it. I like to
weave it.
We like to weave it.
Sarah says trade toys for plywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're talking.
Yeah, I'm actually I've got my little bug out trailer that I'm finally putting insulation in, and I'm anxious to get my little pellet stove done on it. So
I got a pellet stove in my jam room. I just got to hook it up. I got to just drill a hole in the wall and plug it in.
Nice.
Plug it in. Well, I'm not. You know what? I'm not really sold on just yet. Is I bought this sort of rubber cone that goes out the roof. It's the pipe is 3-inch, right? The chimney. It's not a big pipe.
That's huge.
But so the cone goes over it, and kind of makes it all waterproof and everything. And the rubber is a high heat. Apparently, it's good for 40 degrees Celsius or something like 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So by the time your heat rises up that high, it's only 200 coming out of a stove that's generating about 600 degrees, right? So so I'm a little bit, I'm really thinking through the strategy to penetrate the roof. And then where I have it installed, I've insulated the walls, but it's pretty close to the sidewall, and it runs parallel to the sidewall because I didn't want to put it in the middle of the trailer, and
you won't have any heat coming. Like I have one at my cottage already, right? And you can, like, when it's going, you can put stuff on top of it, like gloves, and it does nothing. Like, you're fine. The back's fine too. It's just the exhaust, and mine's the same, 3-inch, right? Just about that big. And it's actually a lot cooler. The only thing I worry about it is, and it happened to us last time my girlfriend was up there, was we opened the draft a little bit, so the flames blew up into the pellets and actually ignited the chute.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, so watch it.
Wow, that's a big cat.
Yeah.
You got a big cat, do you?
Oh yeah.
Did you take your morphine?
No, I'm going to be taking some stuff now because I'm done for the day.
Is it good?
Yeah, I think.
Hey,
I think.
you think you're done too?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I'm pretty.
Well, I did not keep track of all the fans that were part of our show tonight because I wasn't expecting to be on this long. So
Richard, Sarah, Kathy, Matt,
Keisha,
yeah, and I think there was one more.
Oh, I saw Phil's name popped up.
Oh yeah,
here at the beginning.
Too loud. Yeah, too loud.
Yeah. Oh, pellet stove, Richard. Little pellets.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there. Okay. Never mind.
You go pick up all the little pellets that the doves leave behind and throw them in there. It makes nice heat.
And use hardwood. Don't get the softwood. Hardwood burns better.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I've got some ideas on, but I want it so that it's off grid entirely, right? Because I was actually going to put a diesel heater in it, and I thought, no, I've got 2 trailers, so this one here I want to make it very sort of rustic. It's just going to be for fishing, ice fishing, maybe some hunting, but you know, I usually take the bigger trailer with my ATV in it. So, anyway, so
Right
yeah,
on,
I
boys.
think guys, we'll call it a wrap for tonight. And
Okay.
thanks
Sounds
for
Hey,
good.
go take it easy.
Yeah, get well.
Yep.
I will do my best.
If I
Yeah.
poke you, here.
Oh, not there.
Oh, that way. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other way. Yeah.
So
That's
Sarah,
well,
said-
That's that hand coming into
Yeah.
that hand of whatever.
George.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
the hand-
Get your
Wait,
hand out
wait.
of there.
I'll help you, Ringo.
put it on his knee.
Yeah. So that's
So-
cool. Maybe we'll do some more paranormal chatting in the near future.
Right.
We'll see
Yeah,
if we can get hook up a couple of friends and dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
Get some. You know, it's always good. Like, you know, this could be just that we're shooting the breeze. It's good to have some evidence though up. So I'll see if I can get those pictures, and maybe we can get Deanna or somebody on and really
That would be very, very, very cool.
Yep. But Sarah is saying that all the supernatural folk we talked about were listening as well. So, but we didn't
That's
get
true.
names.
All right. That's awesome.
I want to
Okay,
talk
guys.
to Orby and
What'd you say, George?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I didn't say anything. No.
All right.
I think the drugs are kicking in. Possibly.
Yeah, the drugs are kicking in, and I got to take
pain
some
is
more.
a drug.
All right.
Oh,
Okay, guys.
so
we'll see
boys,
you next
All
week.
right.
it's
Later.
another great show.
Yeah.
We'll
Derek?
see everybody back here again Monday night at 9:30 when we get dirty on the Hikadelic Show.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
Talk to you
See you guys.
later.
Thanks for
Ciao.
having.
Anytime, pal.
Well, that's another wrap for the Hikadelic Show, folks, so time to get dirty. And don't forget, listen in next week on Monday night and every Monday after that for the Hikadelic Show at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like more information on the Hikadelic Show, please find us at www.thehikadelicshow.com or .ca. We'll see you all next week on the Hikadelic Show. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor for the Hikadelic Show, it's easy. Just send us an email at info@thehikadelicshow.com. Meanwhile, you can browse our website at www.thehikadelicshow.com or .ca. Click on our sponsor tab and find out more information on sponsorships. Thanks for joining the Hikadelic Show family.
Hey, this is Spiffy Vengeance, and I'm reporting for the Hikadelic Show. In behind me, you can see the world's going on as we speak. It's amazing. It's a light show. It's over the Pickering Darlington nuke plant, but we're not sure what's going on. We think it's aliens, because if you watch, we've been watching this for almost an hour now, and the light show is incredible. What we thought was just a storm appears to be possibly alien invading the Durham region. This is Stiffy Vengeance, and I am going to try and stay awake and watch the show behind me, and hopefully I won't get probed. See you on the Hikadelic Show Monday night.